Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Queenly Vibes here, and I am back with another movie review. Okay, so first and foremost, if you're stopping by my channel, it's evening where I am. But if you're stopping by my channel tonight, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Doesn't hurt you. I'm a positive person. I love people, all of that good stuff. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and share the video, and feel free to leave a comment. I enjoy chatting with new people from all walks of life, so you guys are welcome, and thank you thus far. I'm very appreciative for every subscriber, even if I can't see you. I don't know who you are. You guys are, a lot of you are private on here. I don't know what that's about, but nevertheless, as long as it's positive, I'm all for it. So I appreciate it. Okay. So, yes, this is a movie review. Okay. And the name of the movie is entitled Stalker. Okay. And this movie came on last night. It's Monday, and it's pretty late. It's about to be early Tuesday morning, but I'm up, had stuff to do and stuff like that, all that good stuff. So, yeah, the name of the movie is Stalker, and it came on the network TV1. And as I mentioned before, I did a movie review for Christmas movie last year by TV1. So this is a pretty good station. It's similar to Lifetime. They do show like Fatal Attraction and all of that, stuff like that, which I was hooked on Fatal Attraction so much so I had to kind of back up, because I started getting weirded out with people like, okay, what's your motive? What's your motive? There's a motive. So anyhow, nevertheless, let me get into this movie. Okay, and I'm just going to give, my honest review. If you guys are following me thus far, I'm just going to be honest about it. And it's just my opinion. Okay, so we're going to vibe out right now. Okay, let me just pull up a little bit of, let's see, some information about the movie. Okay, so it's Stalker. It follows a well-known Hollywood actress, Tanya Moore, who is stalked by a mysterious figure and hides out in her new hometown. She later becomes involved with two men, okay, not one but two, and tries to determine if one is behind what is happening to her. Okay, now this movie, it stars Meta Golding, who is portraying Tanya, Christian Keys, who is portraying Damon, and Tatiana Bozier as Shelley. Okay, now Meta Golding, I'm not really familiar with her. I do see, excuse me, that she's done, let's see, I'm sorry. She's done a lot of work. She's done some things, I believe, Criminal Minds and different things like that. But this is my first time really seeing her in a starring role and kind of getting familiar with her, which I love, because like I said, I am a huge movie buff, and definitely I enjoy mystery and suspenseful movies, So this was one of those. Christian Keys, I know from the Tyler Perry plays. One of the first plays that I've ever, that I saw him on, was What's Done in the Dark. One of my favorites. He portrayed a doctor. He is quite handsome. Who does not know Christian Keys, especially as a lady, And then Tatiana Bozier, I'm not that familiar with her, but my son probably would know who she is because she was on the show Luke Cage, and he's a big fan of Luke Cage. So, you know, shouts out to all three, actors. I think everyone played their roles. You know, we'll chat about it. Okay. So let me just enlarge this. Hang on. Okay. So Stalker. It comes on. The actor Meta. She portrays an actress in the movie. Okay. So when it comes on, she's acting in this scene with her boyfriend, who was actually her boyfriend on the movie, but she's also co-starring with him in a movie. Okay, so something weird went on with one of her props, and her boyfriend got really upset. And by the way, the guy that portrayed her boyfriend, excuse me, I also I've seen him in Tyler Perry plays. So Tyler Perry, he certainly knows how to pick out all the good eye candy. Okay? I'm just saying. I'm not being messy or anything like that, God forbid. I'm just saying he certainly have an eye for eye candy. Okay? And I don't know. I'm not sure if he's the one that chooses these guys. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure he have the last say. Anyhow, it's not about Tyler Perry. We're moving on. It's just that, people pop up who's done work with him. Anyways. So, so then from that, someone stole her identity. Okay. So I think it was her manager or one of her assistants or what have you. He pulled her outside to let her know that someone had stolen her identity and there would be a freeze to her account, so she wouldn't be able to utilize her money, and things of that nature. Then also, she did have another assistant, a female assistant, who brought to her attention that there was a picture of a lot of medication that popped up all over her social media, and she thought it was a joke. She thought it was funny. And, Tanya let her know that, no, I didn't do this, so please change my password, change my account, or, whatever, delete this. It wasn't me. Okay? So then she started getting all of these weird phone calls. Someone has altered their voice and they're calling her constantly, saying all of these crazy things to her. Okay? So at one point, it was kind of giving me Scary Movie, with Cindy and all of that. I can't think of the actress name right now. It was almost kind of giving me that vibe in the beginning with this movie, with the phone calls back and forth. For a minute I thought Cindy was going to pop out and just do something, crazy or what have you. And, or, I know what you did last summer, so I'm like, okay, that's a little bit cheesy, with these altered phone calls. Okay. Anyhow, so her and her boyfriend are hanging out at her beautiful, gorgeous home, and they're having a romantic evening and everything. And so again, she get this text, I believe, telling her to check. When's the last time she went through old boy's phone or what have you? And so she had him to go get her, a glass of champagne. And what does she do? She goes through his phone. And apparently she found some form of, like sex video or something like that. And, he comes back with a, the wine and everything, and she's like in tears, she's heartbroken, all of that. And she's like, really, what is this, what have you. So, he's like, what are you doing going through my phone and all of that? And he's like, okay, well, let me explain. She didn't want to let him explain, she just wanted him out. He said that this is old, and she was like, well, it's not that old, you have a fresh haircut, I remember that haircut, what have you, it's not that old. Okay, so he couldn't wiggle out of that. So she kicks him out, and I'm assuming the person, obviously, that was stalking her seems to be watching her. So they had paparazzi, outside of her home and all of that. So the both of them are blaming each other for the paparazzi. He's like, oh, you call paparazzi? And she's like, no, did you call? And, he's like, no. So he leaves and all of that. So from there, what happens? She's just really getting spooked out and everything, and she needed to leave the home. So this is where her and her sister, meet up and everything. She goes to her sister, and her sister was living in the family, their family home from when they grew up as children, and with their parents. So she couldn't go to a hotel because her account is frozen. So, she didn't have a choice. And apparently her and her sister weren't really getting along that much since she went out to become a big Hollywood movie star and all of that. So I guess that had, put a damper into their relationship, right? So, she goes back and she's like, okay, well, listen, I need to stay here at the house. The sister really was a pistol. She gives her a hard time. Finally, she says, okay, you can go to your old room. It's just like you left it or what have you. So I'm like, if it's not all of your, if the house doesn't completely belong to you, what are you being so bossy for? What have you. But anyhow, like I said, their relationship has some issues because she went, she just left. And there's a reason behind why she left, okay? So come to find out, and I'm kind of just jump around. Come to find out, like in her past, she ended up having a baby from a married man who was also her professor. So, scandalous. Okay? Hold up. I was like, okay, Tanya girl, scandalous. He was not only her professor, he was married, And how many of us, thought some teacher was cute and stuff like that, and we fantasize of it. Okay, that's another story, but I was just like, scandalous, okay. And then she went to, to see her baby daddy, and he was a total jerk. He didn't want to have no parts of her, no parts of the baby, none of that. She goes to visit with the lady who actually raised her beautiful daughter and everything. So the lady tells her that, she's sick. The doctor is giving her, just a short time to live and everything. And she's basically telling her, you need to think about what you're going to do with your daughter. Your daughter needs to have her home now with you. And at that part, I thought she was a little bit emotionalist. She showed no type of emotion towards, the woman that raised her child, being sick or anything like that. And I was just like, wow, that's pretty rude, no emotion. Anyhow, moving on from that. So she's back at, her home with the sister, and Christian Keys portrayed the role of Damon. He's just there, he's such a, Southern gentleman, and, whatever she needed, he was there for her to comfort her and everything. And I just knew that, you know, obviously he was in love with her. And apparently he had been in love with her since they were kids. He was borderline obsessed with her. And it comes out, as the movie goes on. He's pretty much obsessed with her, you know. He's cooking her dinner, whining and dining her. He's trying everything to just, swoon her and everything. So, what else happened? Someone ended up slashing her tires. A lot of other stuff went on. She had this police officer that was coming at her sideways. I think in the past he had some pictures or a video of her. He was trying to blackmail her into, sleeping with him and all of that. And I was just like, really? Because I thought he was kind of cool in the beginning, So I'm like, okay, she might need to go holler, at old boy, Turned out to be a jerk. And then, I started just looking at everyone as a potential, suspect. And I'm like, at this point, it can be anyone. It could be her sister, because maybe the sister, really hated her for going off being a Hollywood star, leaving, her there in the hometown and with her parents and all of that. Then I was kind of thinking it could have been the assistant, maybe jealous of her life, maybe wanted to be her. Then, we had Damon, who was nothing but sweet. As I mentioned, nothing but a gentleman up until the one part where he says that the sister wrote a letter and said that she was leaving or something like that. She couldn't deal with all of the drama. Tanya, someone burnt down her house and all of that. It was a lot going on. But what I figured out is that it just seems like everything was happening in Damon's favor, because this was making it possible so that he and Tanya can get closer. Everything was about he and Tanya being closer and closer and closer. Now she didn't have a home, so it was like, where was she going to stay? So then he offers his real home and all of that. And then things started really just kind of getting weird. And I was looking at Damon like, oh yeah, after the sister left, because it wouldn't have been the style of the sister to just up and leave like that, because she was very outspoken. She was even trying to get Tanya to get to know her daughter and to let her know that everything would be okay, and then just to up and leave like that. So I knew something was off. So I was looking at Damon. Now, for the remaining of the movie, I have 2 words for you. Christian Keys. I mean, dude, he killed it. He is not just a pretty face. Dude can act, which I knew he can act from before in other movies and things that I've seen him in. But this was the one that really, for me, it showed like his strong acting abilities. And I love the versatility with him being a villain. And this is what I wanted to see. Because I'm like, it's just so easy for him to be the Southern gentleman. He's easy on the eyes and all of that. But give me something different, Christian. I want to see something different from you. And this is what he gave me. He gave me that. So, there's nothing else left to say. It was all about Christian Keys at this point, because, to be honest with you, the ladies were great and all of that, but it was Christian Keys. He stole the show. For me, he was the star of the show, not just because he's a pretty face, but he was just a star. He acted his butt off. You guys need to go check it out and see for yourself, okay? So that was my review for this movie. 2 words, Christian Keys. Okay? So I will see you guys for the next movie review, or for whatever else I feel like talking about. Okay? Thank you for vibing with me. Take care.